Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Mr. Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is it clear?
Yeah. It is clear. It is clear.
Oh, okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah,
What's your
nice
name,
to meet.
please?
Nice to meet you too.
Sorry?
I said nice to
Yeah,
meet
what's
you.
your name?
Oh, you can call me Isaiah.
Yeah, sure. Isaiah. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
bro. It's good to meet you.
Yeah. Please, you have to be audible small so that we can really hear you.
Yeah, it's not clear, right? I'm speaking loudly, but I don't know. Um,
Yes, you will not hear
okay, I'm
yourself,
coming. Let me
but
see.
I can hear you.
Yeah, but my voice is high, right? It's clear, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I think that is good.
Yeah.
That's good. Um, okay, so
So
that is the basic test that we are supposed to do, right?
come again.
I'm asking if that's the basic testing that we are supposed to do, right?
Yes.
The sound, right?
Yeah. Your sound is okay,
Oh,
it's
okay.
clear.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So let me
Okay.
so let's wait and see for
Yeah,
others to join so that
yeah, yeah.
by 8 we start.
Yeah, I've actually reposted. I've reposted. I don't know if that's how it works. I've reposted. I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to do.
Uh,
Um,
you reposted the flyer or the
I think the live itself for
okay,
Muslims.
okay. Others to join.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Okay, Mr. Mike.
Hi.
Hello. Please, can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, please, I can.
Okay, so let's start so that I release you early so that you can have
Oh,
some time to do other things. Once
oh,
again, thank you
okay. Yeah.
for having to join me to
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much
thank
for
you for
having me.
having to join me to um share your experience in this field because um this is one of the things that a lot of businesses, not just in Ghana, African businesses are really not getting it right. And it is one thing that people are, it seems like we are not finding a solution to it. And a lot of people are really complaining day by day about customer service. And God so being good, and I don't just know if it's a coincidence how God does his thing and the universe. And this
Yeah.
week also is customer service week. I didn't know it. I didn't plan for it. I was just I was just glad to see it just
Yeah.
to align with this week. So I think is a good thing for us. So please, can you share a brief background on how you became a customer service personnel?
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. Um, I hope
You're
you can
welcome.
hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, nice. So, it's quite amazing how I went into customer service. Okay. Let me just give you a brief history.
Okay.
I actually graduated in
Okay.
2015 as a software engineer. Okay. And so,
Okay.
at the time when I graduated, I was actually looking for a job, and so I had to go through an agent. There is an agency that I went through, and I was actually
Okay.
looking for IT related jobs. But back then this software thing wasn't really huge in Ghana. Okay. So there weren't much companies that were hiring software engineers, and even the IT sector wasn't very like matured like we see it today. Okay. So I was just there,
Yeah.
and then the agency called me. They got a receptionist role in a hotel for me. Will I do it? And I was like, oh, I came purposely for IT job. Okay. Yeah, but I actually thought about it, and I was like, okay, it's actually an opportunity to learn something new. Then I would just be looking out for my IT related job. So I took the opportunity to actually take the job. I went for an interview, and then God being so good, I got the job. And so I would say, people actually go to customer, like do courses that are related to customer service. Okay. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I didn't do. I was trained on the ground. Okay, I was
Okay.
trained right on the ground. So my experience is not more like a book thing. It's it's
Yeah.
it's, it's practical. Okay. Yeah, so I took the job, and I was trained bit by bit. I was learning. I was learning. Every single day I learned. And just like we've all been talking about, it's quite difficult to handle customers, especially in hotel, okay, because we have diverse culture. Um, a lot of people come in with different cultures, okay, and you have to be smart enough to be able to actually um, click with those people. How you
Yeah.
don't offend them in any way, because cultural differences is something, okay.
Yeah.
And so sometimes what you don't see as a problem in your culture, it's a big deal in someone else's culture. Okay, so
Yeah, that's
I
right.
learned on the job. I learned on the job, and since then I've actually had a lot of experience. So when I left there, Actually spent like 2 years in that hotel. I don't want to mention the hotel's names, okay? Yeah, but I mean I can mention it's nothing. I actually got my first job with Nogahil Hotel, okay, just for reference sake, so that it doesn't look like maybe I'm lying or anything. Okay, so
Okay.
Nogahil Hotel, that is the first place is at Joey. Just opposite, I think, a state trip, there's a big gym over there. Yeah, so that was where I got my first job. And, you know, during my time there, okay, um, we had top UN officials, okay, United Nations officials that usually came to lodge there. Yeah, so handling VIP guests are also like it's also a different skill on its own. Okay, yeah. And sometimes you see this is why customer service is really important. You know, as 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 a customer service personnel, okay, or if
Yeah.
you are if you are in the customer service role,
Yeah.
you always have to put up your best behavior. Okay? You always I always say this. Me, I tell people this all the time. You always have to put up your best behavior because you don't know who is coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, these UN officials, okay, they come in, excuse me to say, they are dressed like when you see these people's shoes, when you see their shoes, they are dressing very, very simple, right? But until they give you their passport, you would never know who they are. You see? So I mean,
Yeah.
I learned the hard way. Okay, so I mean, when you are starting, you don't know all these things. Okay, when you are starting
Yeah.
these roles, you don't know all these things. So initially, I used to behave the same way, but you know, some things will happen that will humble you. Okay, because when UN officials come, they give you their passport before you know that they are holding diplomatic passport. And at the
Yeah.
time, uh, at the hotel, we had a special rate for people with diplomatic passport, okay, diplomats. Okay. We had a
Okay.
special rate for them, which don't charge them the normal rate. And so when people come, we take their passports to actually fill in, take information from it to fill the ledger. Okay. So when you take their passport, that is when you know that no, this person is not a small person. Yes. And so um, it actually built it changed my whole perspective about treating people right, without even getting anything in return. Yeah, so I would say that is
Wow.
actually the journey. And so from there, I moved on to a night auditor, which is also more like a finance and then um, customer guest relation kind of job. Okay, and then here we are.
Yeah.
So, if you ask me, that is my brief history about how I got into customer service and how I was able to learn a lot from there. Yes, thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. So be, from being a software engineer to becoming a customer service personnel.
Yeah,
Yeah. So um will you say you are fortunate to go into what to do what you are doing today? Um because what I'm saying so is like from your own narrative, it seems you've um it seems God really aligned you on the path that at first you didn't think that you needed it, but looking back
mm,
now, it seems like you've actually learned a lot, which you can, from what you've learned, you can apply it to anything in life. So, will you say you are glad you everything went this way?
yes. I would say I'm very, very happy because naturally I'm one kind of person that loves helping and assisting people. Okay,
Okay.
and I wouldn't necessarily have discovered it if I hadn't gotten the job in the customer service sector. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so um, I think when I got this job, it changed a lot. Okay, I've actually come to realize that um, we have bad character as human beings. Okay,
Wow,
yes,
we have bad
yes,
character as human beings.
yeah, we have so much bad character. Because until someone does it to you, when people are complaining about customer service, you would never understand. Okay, yeah, so I think it has actually reformed me in a way. Even when I'm not working, my day-to-day dealing with people, I actually apply everything in my day-to-day dealing. That
Yeah.
is just me. Even if I have patience. Okay, so one thing that I've also learned from this is patience. Okay, you need to have patience, so much patience
Mm,
for people. Yeah, so I think I am very very glad this happened because and I believe in like you were saying, okay, more like a destiny type of thing. I
okay.
believe my path has been aligned, and I really enjoy this customer service
Mm,
thing. Yes, so if you ask me, I would say yes, I'm really really happy this happened. Yes. Thank you.
that's great. So talking about changes, what are the changes that going into this field has
Mm.
actually impacted in your life? What are those changes that you've actually seen that um, being a customer service personnel has brought into your life?
Okay, so um, some of the changes I would say is I used to be very quick tempered, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Very, very, very disappointed. And you would hardly even see me in any job position that has last like even a year. Yes,
Okay,
that
wait. So
that is
let me pause you there. So
okay.
so does that mean that a lot of people who jump from one job to another, they actually have certain traits that they do
Yes,
not realize? Sometimes they feel like it is the job that is making them, or the job is not good enough for them.
yeah,
That's why. So they keep on jumping from one job to another without realizing that they actually have something that is preventing them from seeing success in what they are doing.
yes. I would say that is 100%. Okay, for the most part. Okay, if not 100, I would say 90. Okay, so
Okay.
you see, we have a saying in Akan that I don't know if you're an Akan, but there's a saying in Akan that they say the old sa enemies and the chia chia. Okay, yeah, so I think the situation is more like we don't like to actually acknowledge the fact that we are at fault. Okay.
Yeah,
And it
that's
happens
right.
to most people. It happens to most people. And so, like I was saying, I hardly even stay in a job for like 6 months. That is because
Wow.
the moment my boss even insults me just once or talks harsh to me, raises their voice to me, I'm just off. I'm gone. You will not even get my resignation letter. I'm just gone. They will call me and call me and call me and I'll not answer. And to be honest, it was a very bad habit. It
Hmm.
wasn't anything to write home about. Okay. Okay. So I think you asked the question that how has this helped me, okay, changed me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'll say that is number one, okay.
Yeah.
It actually helped with my temper. It
Mm.
helped with my temper a lot because I was a very temperamental person, and the moment someone does anything small, I'm just all over the place retaliating. Yeah, and then like I mentioned earlier, it also helped me with patience. Okay,
Yeah.
patience because sometimes you'll be dealing with certain people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. Okay,
Okay.
so this happened once. Okay, at Noga Hill, my first workplace. Okay, so
Yeah.
there was this guest that came to lodge over there. Okay, and
Yeah.
my front office manager, he was usually uh, like on duty during the night. Okay,
Yeah.
so what happened was this customer, a man, he came to lodge for like 1 week. Okay, so as part of our services, sometimes we get relations. Okay, we
Yeah.
interact with the guests in such a way that sometimes we have conversations that are outside businesses, like the main business, like the customer, um, um, how do you call it, customer service relation. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think my front office manager became very close with this guest, and it got to a point where he started asking him, oh, so he'll be leaving so and so date, right? And then the man was like, oh yes, and he was like, oh, so around what time? It's just a casual conversation, okay? So I think this man lost his money, and it was a huge amount of money. I don't quite remember the amount, but it was quite huge, and it was dollars. It was actually dollars.
Hmm.
So um, the day before this man will check out, he noticed that his money has gone missing. Hmm. This issue, this man noticed that his money has gone missing, and come and see. Hey, that time I came during the day, and so he was accusing us, making noise. So I had to call management, and then we called my front office manager. Usually his shift is supposed to be in the night, but he had to come during the day. This man
Yeah.
went to bring police. Police came
Hmm.
harassing us. Oh, it's not easy. Big problem, because why? He says my front office manager has been having some weird conversations with him. A conversation that both of them agreed to have. Like it was just a casual conversation. He
Yeah.
was just trying to be nice, like know when you will be checking out, all that. It's normal. It's a harmless question, okay? But
Okay.
he actually linked that to the money that got lost. And so this man, what he did, so I was talking about patience, okay? This is why
Yeah.
patience is very important. Because my front office manager cried. He's like an old elderly man, but he cried that day. Because who would be his witness? Because the man has seen the thing on him that he's definitely the one who took the money. And then we had to step in. Even the police came, and then we explained to the police, patience. We didn't raise our tone, nothing. We were all very calm with the customer. And then the customer is like, he's checking out the next day. He can't miss his flight also. So what are you telling him? Police should arrest my front office manager, and we are like, oh, he should just take his time. If in the morning he's ready, he's when his flight is almost like maybe let's say like 5 hours to his check-in at the airport, and he still
Okay.
hasn't found the money, we will make sure the police come and take my my front office manager. So I think he was a bit relaxed, but then we were actually still looking for the money. So you know what? The next day, we didn't find the money. So the next day, his checkout was his check-in at the airport, right? Was supposed to be around I think 12 1 thereabout. So sometimes you have to check in at the airport earlier, okay,
Yeah.
before the flight. Okay, so sometimes
Yeah.
you check in 2 hours before the flight and all that. Yeah. So it was in the morning. Our housekeeper went in there, searched everywhere. We searched everywhere under the bed, everything. We didn't find it. So this man was so angry. Hey, this issue. I hope
Hmm.
I'm not taking much time, right?
No, 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 no. You are free. You are free.
A very great experience that I have to share. So,
Yeah.
fast forward, we were actually looking for, we didn't find the money. So all hope was lost, actually lost. And so this man packed his luggages, came down, and then we called the policemen to come so that they
Yeah.
come and take, because we promised him that so that he will at least have some I don't know, but he will have some satisfaction. Let me say satisfaction. Okay. So
Okay.
the police came in and then we were just down there. They were preparing to actually take my front office manager in for questioning, further questioning. Okay, because when they take him, they have to write his statements and everything. Yes. So before the man goes and checks in. So they were just prepared about to take him away, and then our housekeeper came from the top because he was actually on the first floor of the building. Rushed down, screaming, "Oh, she found the money! It was a bundle like this dollars, a lot of money."
Yeah.
She came down and then she's like, "Where did she find it?" According to her, you know, housekeepers when they want to tidy the room and the bed,
Yeah.
what they do first, they actually take the pillow, remove the pillowcase, and then they actually put the pillow aside before they take out the duvet and then the bed sheets. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is what she did. She actually took the pillow, took out the pillowcase, and then the money fell from the pillowcase.
Uh,
I hope, yeah. So according to the man, he actually forgot that he kept the money under his pillowcase, like under the pillow, inside the pillowcase, because he says he was scared that from the conversations that he was having with my front office manager, he was scared that he's coming with the money. But he actually forgot that he had
hey.
put it there. Serious issue. So this housekeeper came down with the money, and then this man was actually a bit ashamed because the way he behaved, the way my front office manager built a good relationship with him and how he reacted back was a no-no, you know. But it's understandable because he's a customer and he's right. Okay, so he took time and then we were explaining to him that is why we told him to have patience because people even leave their belongings and then we email them to let them
Yeah.
know that they left their belongings at the hotel so that they don't go finding or looking for it. So that the next time they visit Ghana, they can come back in town for it. Sometimes we keep people's belongings as far as 1 year.
Hmm.
Yes, 1 year, the people come back and then their belonging is intact. So we explained to him that day he gave us $100 each. I was so happy. I was
At
so
least to
so happy.
compensate for the embarrassment,
That
harassment.
exactly, he gave us $100 each, and it was quite a huge amount back then. I would say it was good. It was a good amount with the exchange
Yeah.
rate and everything. So these are some of the things that happen. Okay, so
Yeah.
um, coming back to your question. Okay, um,
Yeah.
you know, if it were me before me, I'll blast the man and just take my bag and walk out. Yes.
Mm.
And so that is how most people are right now. They don't have patience. Okay, they have bad attitude towards it. Look, this thing is not limited to only customer service. Ghanaians and we have a bad attitude towards work. Even those
Okay.
who are not in customer service, they have bad attitude towards work. They will report to work late. They will be doing their work anyhow as if they are doing the owner of the job a favor. It's a hand go hand come thing. Okay, so
Yes.
I believe that if you take a role upon yourself, okay, to
Yeah.
do, um, you actually nobody force you, okay. You see, most of the
Yeah.
time people are like, oh, the salary is not good. You know the salary is not good. Just quit the
Yeah.
job.
I wanted to come in there. Yeah.
So
I
you
wanted to
just
come
quit
in
the
there,
job.
but yeah, because
Okay.
someone once said that if you really want your staff to treat the customer very well, then you need to pay them very well. So
Hmm,
I was thinking, do you think that underpayments can actually also be the cause of staff not treating customers very well? Because sometimes like you said, patience, but for businesses that provide services, sometimes you might undercharge, but
hmm,
along the line you realize that you undercharge yourself.
mm,
sometimes when the client comes, they don't really give you the brief of what they want. So you are just charging them based on the brief they gave you. But
yeah,
along the line, you realize that you've actually over work for them. So
mm,
do you think that um people or staff not being compensated enough
mm,
is one of the causes why um, staff have this bad attitude towards customers?
mm. Okay. So I think it's a two-way thing, okay? Somehow
Okay.
it contributes, but it is not the right attitude towards work. Okay, and there's no justification for that. I believe in saying no to things that do not serve you right. Okay,
Okay.
so let me just give an example here. Let's say you have seen a sawmill before, right?
Yeah.
How
The
the mill,
sawmill, is
the
it
how,
the one, the normal sawmill?
yeah, the normal sawmill that they used to, the machines that they used to cut wood and everything.
Okay, yeah.
When you go to the sawmill, they'll be cutting the wood. You see that the blade is very sharp. You push
Yeah.
the wood and then it cuts it into two. Let's
Yeah.
say you employed to work with that machine, okay?
Yeah.
And you say because the pay is low, you come and do the job anyhow, and then the blade will cut your hand because you are not concentrating on the job. Two,
Yeah.
they've asked you to wear your protective gears, you didn't wear them, and then the machine cuts your hand. Who
Okay.
is going to take you to hospital? Like, I mean, your employer is not your employer's problem. So the point I'm trying to make here is people actually know what exactly they are doing. And
Okay.
sometimes it's not really because of the pay. They just
Yeah.
have a bad attitude naturally. So you see, someone in customer service who can be taking the same pay as someone at the sawmill example that I gave, okay.
Yeah.
But and they are both not satisfied with the salary, okay. But you see that the sawmill guy, because his work is hazardous, okay, it can just cut your hands or give you an injury, a long-term injury, any moment. So that person is very vigilant, doing their work exactly as it should be done.
Okay.
Whereas the customer service, because there is no risk or anything, the most that could happen is just they will just get fired, okay. So they don't actually think what they do through, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you get the example that I'm trying to make.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
The
your
fact
example.
the fact that you are not paid well does not mean that you should go and cut your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a more of an attitude thing. You see, people have been watching a lot of these motivational speakers sometimes. They tell
Yeah.
you should do what you love. Okay. You should do
Yeah.
what you love to do. And if whatever is paying you or feeding you or putting food on your table, if you don't love it, find a way to love it.
Yeah.
Yes. So else, just this evening, I was watching a news. I think two nannies have been arrested. Why? Because they've been giving sleeping tablets to their kids so that they can sleep for months now. For
Hmm.
so many months now. How do you give sleeping tablets to little kids so that they can sleep for you to actually do what? Feel free or do other work. So they are arrested now. They are going to face the law. You see,
Yeah.
sometimes I believe that if the salary doesn't serve you right and you know your worth, okay, everybody
Yeah.
has a worth. If you know your worth and you know that, oh, this is the kind of work I can put in, and if the salary is not good, just turn it down, say no. But if you have to say yes, and because there is a situation, okay, there are times where you actually need the money, okay, so you have to say yes. When you say yes, you have to make sure it's a contract, it's an agreement. Because if they are supposed to, you see that there are some companies that will send you um, an offer letter, they will send you the contract, you read, and then you sign. no matter how much they are paying you, it's a contract. Okay, it's
Yeah.
an agreement. Once
Yeah.
you agree to take it, you have to follow the job descriptions that has been given to you because obviously you read the job descriptions even before applying and proceeding to the interview stage. Okay. So
Yeah.
I think the salary shouldn't be um, something that someone would say that because they are not paying you, or at least you are better than someone who is unemployed. Okay, people are not actually learning. They don't want to learn. People don't want to learn. That is the problem. Ghanaians, you don't
Yeah.
learn. You don't like to learn. I mean, what they know is what they know. Okay,
Uh,
so they just think that how do you call it
they just go
once
with the flow.
exactly, yeah, they don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They don't want any accountability. So I've been saying that no matter your problem, no
Yeah.
matter what you've been going through home, whatever, the moment you are in a customer service role or customer service representative role, the moment you get to work, fine, you drop every single thing because see, the clients and Kasa, when they are coming, they are annoyed already. So if you bring your home issues, come and attach to it, it will be fire doesn't need fire, okay? So
Yeah.
someone has to do the water in there, okay? And you
Uh,
are getting paid, and the customer is bringing in the money for you to get paid, and so you have to turn into the water, okay? And
yeah.
so that is something that is a problem. And secondly, okay,
Yeah.
secondly, the other factor would be that you know, companies are supposed to be investing in training their how do you call it, their staff. Okay?
That's right.
And
That's right.
they have
Because
to do,
sorry to interfere, because I feel like a lot of these staffs do not really understand the nature of job. They are not taking
yeah,
because there's what we call onboarding.
yes,
Okay, you are a software engineer, you understand it. Onboarding, where you take people through to
yeah,
understand what the product is all about. So it's like um even business owners right now, they do not even, they are just doing the business because they want money. They are not there to
yeah,
solve people's problem. So they transfer that same attitude to their staff. Just when the customer comes, all you need to do is take the money. But they don't understand how to solve problems. So when these customers comes with a lot of frustration, they do not understand or do not know how to handle those problems.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That is very, very, very much how it is. So, there is one thing about customer service role that people
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah,
Whenever a customer is angry, okay, they are
yeah.
not really angry at you, the person sitting there. They
Okay.
are angry at the company and the service of the company.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's say a customer ordered for something, okay, from
yeah,
an online shop. I don't know, the shop can be physical, but they have online services. The person ordered for the thing, and then you promise the person to actually deliver the next day. And the person
yeah,
will be traveling a day after the day they are supposed to receive the item. And then that day they didn't receive the item. They call them, they are angry that, oh, why is it that um you have delayed my item like that? Then they start bursting into anger and then insulting you and all that. They are not
yeah,
really angry at you, the person they are talking to. You see, they are actually channeling their frustration to the service that they did, like the service that the company didn't meet. Okay, so I think in this role, you shouldn't be taking things personal. Okay,
okay,
customer service representatives shouldn't be taking things personal. Nothing is
okay.
about you unless
Mm,
the person is attacking you personally, and you would know. Okay, sometimes some of the customers go off board attacking you personally, and
yeah,
even with that, there are ways to actually handle them. Okay, yeah, so I think the training is also a big part of it because most Ghanaian entrepreneurs actually love cheap things, excuse me to say, in quotes.
Yeah.
They love cheap things, okay? For them
Yeah.
to actually invest in the right things, they don't. They just go for, you know, some people even take JHS graduates in customer service, how they call it, roles, yeah, because they will pay them cheaper
Cheap.
than
Mm.
someone who has actually um, got an HND or maybe a degree in, how they call it, business administration or human resource or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that is also another thing that we should actually look at because when you look at chain restaurants and then chain hotels, okay, like the
Yeah.
moving take and the rest, okay, they
Mm.
actually invest in staff training and all that. And so it actually helps their staff to actually update their knowledge from time to time. Okay. Yeah, so I think the training is also something that is very, very, very crucial to this
Eh,
role. Yes.
Okay. So, still on the training, we have like the businesses, the hotels, the restaurants that you've
Mm,
mentioned. They have money. They are established. So
mm,
they are ready to spend and invest, knowing that they will be risking their business if they cannot provide good customer service, because people who are coming to those kind of restaurants and hotels, they are people of um cream de la cream of the society, so they need to provide the best. So, coming down to small businesses, today everybody wants to own a business, no matter how small. And these small businesses most times are not really capable to invest in customer service. They don't have the means to train. They would love to, but because they don't have the means, they just go to what they can afford, like the JHS liver that you mentioned, and that's what they can afford. In this case, what are the possible ways that you think they should, or what can they do so that even if they can't invest and train um, these inexperienced people, but they can still at least give good customer service?
okay. So I think the problem here is you see one thing about business is I used to see a joke on TikTok where people will be like, I'm a small business owner, then you see me talking to myself, I'm having a staff meeting.
Yeah,
And so really funny, you know. So as a small business owner, because you are not up there yet, everything is on you, the business owner, because I don't see why you would invest in a business and then not care about your customers. Okay.
okay,
So
yeah,
I think to set up every business, okay, you, the person setting up the business, should have knowledge about the business you are going into and every department that is inside that business. Okay. So let's say
yeah,
maybe you are good at let's use the restaurant for example. You are a chef, okay? You graduated as
yeah,
a chef, you are good at cooking and everything, and you want to establish a restaurant, a small joint, okay,
yeah,
where people can come and then eat something good, and then with time you grow and then expand. But just like you asked, those people don't really have money to hire the professionals. Okay, so you
yeah,
know there is human resources in every business. Okay, and so
yeah,
human resources are actually um, how do you call it, responsible for onboarding new employees and then training them through the work. Okay,
yeah,
so since you cannot hire the services of an HR, you have to be the HR. You will be the manager. You will be the HR. You will be everything of the company that you are starting. And that is where people don't get it.
okay,
If you can't hire people, you are actually supposed to be the person. you
Yeah.
be your marketing manager. Okay, so I think you, the person establishing the business, should have at least a prior knowledge in all these small fields. You should know a little bit of marketing to actually push the business before you go in for marketing manager. You have to
Okay.
know auditing. Okay, you have to know accounts and auditing. You know, today knowledge is abundant. Okay,
Yeah.
and so I think before you go into any venture, you have to look at all these things. Look, check your how to balance your accounts and all that, so that in case you are selling and you are running at a loss, you know how to handle it and all that. So you have to also understand that customer service is part of your business structure. And so
Yeah.
while you are going in for a BHS graduate, it's not bad, okay, it's good. People have to even train all these people, okay. So it's not bad, but you take it upon yourself that, no, I know something about customer service. And you know one thing about these small upcoming businesses, the owners are mostly present at the, how do you call it, the business premises. They don't leave it like that. They are
Yeah.
mostly present. And so
Yeah.
while you are present, take some time off sometimes to educate the person on your own, okay? Educate
Yeah.
them that, oh, this is what you have to do as a customer, like a customer service representative or whatever, okay? As a
Yeah.
customer service role. So this is this and this are what you are supposed to do. And so when you do that, with time, your business grows and you employ the services of HR, okay? So
Yeah.
I think the whole problem is learning. See, last time I saw a lady who went to do her hair, okay, at,
Yeah.
it was a TikTok video, okay, so she's actually an airwear, but when, a very nice salon, salon,
Yeah.
very nice
Yeah.
place, she actually heard the girls that were, the apprentices that were doing her hair for her, gossiping about her in airwear, okay,
Hmm.
and she pretended as if she didn't understand the language. So she allowed them to say whatever they had to say. And then when she finished, they finished everything. She started complaining. And then it actually turned into a little bit of argument here and there. Can you imagine that their madam came in to actually support her apprentice? Hmm.
Hmm.
So you see, some of these things are just like the owners of the business are also part. And when the business is going down, they will actually come and be blaming their staff. Okay. And
Hmm.
so these things, I think we have to look at it very carefully because, you know, I was watching an interview with Tobinco Pharmacy some time back. I think, yeah, is it a next chemist or Tobinco? One of them. He was
Yeah.
like, Tobinco, he was like, he lived in Japan for some time and he learned something from Japan that he incorporated in his business, his pharmaceutical business, and it helped him a lot. He says
Okay.
in Japan, they've actually employed someone specifically to be opening doors for it, like the banks do. And the banks
Yeah.
is mostly the security guys who do that, and they don't even welcome you in or thank you when you are leaving. Okay? So, but
Yeah.
what the Japanese do is they actually employ someone who will be opening the gate when you come. Welcome. The person will welcome you so nicely. Welcome to so and so company. I hope
Yeah.
you have a very good experience. Okay, the person
Yeah.
goes in, that's whatever they want to do, and then they are coming out, and then thank you for patronizing us. Come again next time. We'd love to see you. And the person leaves. You know, so there's this thing that happens. You know, the customer doesn't remember your product or service. Okay, they always
Yeah.
remember how you made them feel.
Them
Okay, so
feel.
like my first workplace, I can
Yeah.
tell you boldly that there were a lot of deaths that came there because of me, the staff. There was
Wow.
this one doctor, he had a very big house in East Legon. Like he worked in the US, okay. And so when he comes home, he has a house at East Legon, but he will not sleep there. He will come and lodge at the
Yeah.
hotel for months, sometimes 2 months at the hotel. You can imagine the amount of money he spends just because of
Mm.
we the staff, because we make him happy.
Yeah.
You make him happy, very happy. So, you know, how you make the customer feel is what will retain your customers, okay, and what will make them keep coming back. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think we are all at fault, the business owners and then we, the employees, we are all at fault. And so you can see that businesses that invest in training and all that, they are doing very, very, very well. And one thing too is as a small business owner, if if you can handle those aspects, handle it. You don't need to take someone or employ someone. Handle it yourself. Learn how to deal with customers. Grow the business to a point where you have enough knowledge to actually supervise people. Because whatever you are doing, you have to have knowledge in the thing.
Yeah.
Assuming how can I use as an example? Okay, let's say you open a phone shop, okay,
Yeah.
and then you don't know anything about phones and you decided to invest in opening a phone shop, but you
Yeah.
have a salesperson who understands phones and everything.
Yeah.
Do you know that that person can cheat you just because you don't know anything about phones?
Yeah. That's true.
Yes, the person can cheat you because the person can tell you that, oh, maybe iPhone, he sold iPhone, how do you call it? Let's say iPhone 12 Pro Max, okay? The person
Yeah.
sold it and it was 128. Let's say it was, the person would say he sold it 128 gigabytes, okay, at maybe, let's say, 4,000 Ghana cedis. Whereas the person sold a 512 gigabyte version, which
Yeah.
actually cost like maybe, let's say, 5,000, 6,000. It's an example, okay? And then the
Yeah.
person will just pocket that 2,000 because you don't know, you don't even know the memory difference of the phones, okay? And then the memory also actually adds more prices to it, okay? So
Yeah.
sometimes you need to understand the field you are in so that your employees cannot even misbehave.
Yeah.
Whatever service you are giving, you understand it, so you know that what you are doing is wrong. Do it this way. Then you teach them. Whoever is refusing to learn, you just lay them off. Employ someone new. Simple. You move forward. Okay. Yes. So
Yeah.
I think businesses should actually look at the fact that even if you cannot employ the services of a trainer or your staff,
Yeah.
that duty is solely on you, the managing director or whatever, or the CEO as they call themselves. You
Okay.
have to be able to do all those things. So that is my view. Yes.
Okay. So, what do you have to say about because I've heard a lot of business owners complain that they don't want to really invest in staffs. Reason because if they have to train the staff, there's that tendency that they will, after investing so much in them, they will now leave. Maybe another business, another company would offer them job and offer to pay them very well. They will now leave, forgetting that someone invested in them to become who they are. So, what do you have to say about that?
Okay. So I think it's understandable. Okay. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, I usually see some job postings and they are like, you need someone with 5 years experience. Who should train that person for you to come and take 5 years experience? Who should? You see, we have a problem. There is one thing about the whites, okay, the Western business style. That is why I made a reference to businesses,
Yeah.
especially the hotel my field, okay, which
Yeah.
are Accor, you have Accor Group, you have Marriott, you have Hilton. I don't know if you've heard of those chain hotels. They are
Yeah. Yeah.
across
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
world, just like how McDonald's is, and let's say maybe I think pizza,
KFC.
those chain restaurants, chain. You see, they invest in their staff without thinking about these things because at some point you would have to develop someone
Yeah.
career-wise. Okay? You would have to do it. It's very necessary because you don't expect someone else to do it for you to come and pick the person. And one problem is if someone goes through those things sometimes they are coming in. you know that you are paying them higher, okay,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
you are not even willing, which most businesses are not willing to even pay higher, but their demands are so huge. Last time I saw a kitchen, I'm not actually um bastardizing anybody's business model or whatever. Okay. But
Okay.
I saw a kitchen shop somewhere at Westland or something, and they said they are looking for a salesperson, more like someone who will sit there and then attend to customers and everything. They are looking for bachelor's degree in business administration or
Yeah.
related field like human resource management, whatever. And I'm saying a kitchen shop and they are asking for 3 years minimum experience in the field. So
Yeah.
I'm like a cutting shop. How much can you pay the person, the person with the bachelor's degree? How much can you pay the person? You see, so
Yeah.
these are some of the problems. Okay, and
Yeah.
people will come and leave, no matter what. People will always come and leave. It is, I think, what they should do is they should actually look for a more structured way to actually train the staff so that
O-
when one leaves, there is another backup or something. Okay,
Okay.
rather than thinking that maybe when you develop someone, the person will go away and so you don't. Haven't you seen people who are also very loyal to a particular career or a job? There are people
Yeah.
who are very loyal, and
Yeah. I've
once
seen
you
it.
train they can be in the company for like 10 years and then they will be upgrading even to managerial roles. There are people like that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it's all risk. Okay. A business is risk. I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm supposed to even advise someone who is going into business. Business is risk, but a calculated risk. Okay. So
Yeah.
once your risk is calculated very well, you see, I'm not saying that that person should go and then the business owner should go and then employ the services of a trainer to train just one person. Okay, so
Yeah.
it will have to be something like perhaps there are even some companies that do a general training. Okay, so by at the end of most of their training, you see that someone in the food and beverage how do you call it sector knows something about someone in the laundry sector's job.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone who is in the restaurant department knows something small about laundry. Okay. And
Mm.
then sometimes laundry knows something small about restaurants. Okay. At least
Yeah.
how to serve a customer properly. So that sometimes when there is even a shortage of staff or it comes to an emergency, you see that some other departments, I was a receptionist, but I knew housekeeping jobs. Okay, I know how to lay the bed and everything. I know how to serve. I know how to fold napkins and
O-
then arrange cutlery sets. Okay, so but those weren't my department. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think it's very important that they actually train all the staff because there are some companies they have training sessions that when you miss you would actually you can actually be penalized for it, okay, because they want you to develop your career, okay, develop your understanding in the field that you are occupying. Yeah, and so do you know that ShopRite they write occasional exams to
Wow.
actually test your current knowledge? Yes, you can ask anybody in the retail sector, ShopRite, they do that. They have training for their staff and they write exams. I think it's every single month. If you fail, they will lay you off. It means you are not growing, you are not learning. They will lay you
Wow.
off and then take. Yes, you can ask anybody. ShopRite, they have exams that they write as a staff. It's even more than school.
Hmm.
It's more than skill. And so this is what keeps them afloat, okay? Because you see that there were some few years back people were complaining, oh, businesses are collapsing, businesses are doing. Do you know that game collapsed in the Accra Mall? Game collapsed. Game is not there anymore. Game, the place that game was occupying is being occupied by Melcom right now. But how do you call it? ShopRite is still in operation. And so
Okay.
what like that ShopRite have two heads, excuse me to say. No, they don't have two heads. It's just how they structured their things, okay. And so they have time for staff training. They'll train you. And then when you are not growing, it is your own business, and they'll just lay you off, pick someone else who is willing to be trained. Yeah. And so I think the question you asked is a very beautiful question. What I think is, if anybody wants to train their staff, the person should just train, just do it. It's not a problem, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
In the end, you would actually reap it yourself. Yes, you would actually reap it yourself. I don't think it's a problem. They just have to be calculated about how the training is, okay, because you cannot go and pick a trainer who is charging, like, let's say maybe per session the person is charging, as an example, maybe 1,500, and then you let the person train just one staff. Okay, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. So at least you have to have like five staff ready to learn. Then you utilize the knowledge. Okay, so
yeah.
I think that is what should be done.
Mm. Yeah, I get it. And I don't know whether you know Dr. Olumide Manuel.
Let me do it.
Yeah, Olumide Manuel. He's into real estate. He's also a pastor. And
Oh,
he
look out.
come again.
I'll search him and then see later.
Y-
I don't know
Yes.
him though.
Yeah, he does a lot of business seminar and all those entrepreneurship seminar. And he made mention that um, in Africa we get scared of training our staff because we fear that they will leave if we train them, they will leave and all those stuff like I mentioned. But the thing is, if I have a business, you have a business, another person have a business. If I train my staff and you train your staff, the other person train his staff. If that if my staff is leaving to your company, is already trained, so you don't need to train him again.
Exactly.
So now everybody working for the three of us are all trained. So even if they have to leave, we don't have anything to fear that, or we need to train again because they are already trained. But the problem is that everybody don't want to invest and train. So that's why we are
Exactly.
having that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that
So
leads
this
me to, okay.
okay. So just come with your question. Okay.
Okay. And that leads me to asking, customer service, should it be for a specific staff, like maybe receptionists? Because most times, in most cases, receptionists are the ones who represent the business, the company. They are the first person every client or customer meets. So should it be for a specific staff, or every staff working in a business should be trained on how to handle customers and clients?
Okay. So good one. So you see, you were actually, let me start from where you were saying, talking about the pastor who is saying that when they train how do you call it, their staff, they leave,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, and so
yeah,
you made a point where you mentioned that when you train your staff, I train my staff. We both have trained staff, okay. So
yeah,
the problem with African businesses is, I don't know if it is jealousy, greed, or whatever. You see, um, I've never really seen any African business. I don't know, I stand to be corrected, but I've not seen any African business where the owner of the business dies and the business is still standing as it used to be. I've
that's
not
true.
seen any yet.
Yeah,
So the problem with people is, let me give you an example. You know that Steve Jobs founded, how do you call it, the Apple company. He's not
yeah,
alive, and he's
yeah,
still running, right?
sure.
Um, there are other companies where, how do you call it, this KFC. KFC, the
Yeah,
person who found KFC died. Okay, he's
yeah, yeah,
dead already, and it's still running. So the problem with us is, I know businesses are a competition, but our type of competition is not healthy. Okay, so
yeah,
you see that Samsung and iPhone will be shading each other. Okay, but they're actually one. That is what people don't know. Apple is buying screens from Samsung. and yet
Sure.
they'll be
That
shading each other.
yeah,
And
that's
you, the
true.
customers, will be fighting their fight for them, but internally they are one. And so this is the reason why I brought this up before I go into the actual question. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, if businesses are supposed to be one, okay, they
Yeah.
could, because if I train my staff, maybe my type of training might be a little bit different from how you are training your staff. Okay, so you both can actually learn something. You can cross knowledge. Okay, not
Yeah.
necessarily how we are running our business, but a general knowledge among staff and all that. Okay, like a proper business. Okay,
Yeah.
so what could happen is sometimes these businesses can allow their staff to go to seminars and all that so that they can actually um, bond and then mingle with other staff from other companies, okay, so
Yeah.
that they can share ideas, okay. So sometimes you can learn something today, you can learn something, and then another person in the same line of work doesn't even know this thing exists in your line of work. Okay, so sometimes when these kind of meetups happen, it helps to be able to cross knowledge across. Okay, but
Yeah.
unfortunately for we Africans, the way we think um, is something else, and so it can never be possible. Okay, it can
Yeah.
never be possible. But coming on to your question, okay,
Yeah.
um, we are not supposed to train specific people on customer service because customer service is just like an attitude that you see that there are some people when they see elderly people they don't respect them. When they
Yeah.
see kids they don't respect them. They see
Yeah.
presidents and they don't respect them. They even see policemen, soldiers in uniform and they don't respect them.
Yeah.
So it's an attitude, it's a character which has
Mm.
to be undone, unlearned. Okay. And so I
Hmm.
think every single staff, even up to excuse me to say cleaner, okay, a
Yeah.
gardener, cleaner should know because sometimes a customer could be walking into an establishment and then the first person they meet is a cleaner and they are like,
Mm.
oh, hello, how are you doing? Um, can you locate me to the reception? I'm looking for the reception. A harmless question, no, but you know there are some people like some people can go as far as can't you see the reception is written up there?
Wow.
You know, people do that. Yeah, there are people who do that. You met a cleaner and there is reception written boldly in front of the reception which is visible from the outside, okay. But sometimes the customer is new there. The person's mind is not even there that there is a receptionist sign over there. The
Yeah.
reception sign, okay. So you can see people talk trash. There are people who naturally talk trash. Some people will just answer the customer that, oh, can't you see that there is a reception? No, you don't talk like that. Not just because you are a cleaner. No. Okay, so we all need the training. Every single person needs the training. Customer service, if I don't know if we can actually push an agenda for people to understand this thing,
I
it
think
will
that
be
that
very
that
good.
would be a good thing to do because I think it's part of our attitude, like you said earlier before. Is part of us. Is not. It's just that the business expose us, but individually, even in our homes, that's how we are.
Exactly. That is how we are. People are very disrespectful, very mannerless, and they don't even see there is a problem with them. They are always okay. So I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So they are always blaming it on other people, and which is very bad. Okay. So like the example I gave, the person thinks. You see, in Ghana, we think because you are employed for this particular role, other roles are not your problem. Okay. They are not
Yeah,
your business. But I really think in personal development, okay, when you learn
yeah,
something small from here, nobody is saying you should go and do someone's work for them, okay. But sometimes
yeah,
you learn something small, small. Me, in my previous roles in the hotel, I serve breakfast sometimes because there are guests who sometimes need. You see, the restaurant comes opens around 8, okay,
yeah,
and then there are some of the guests who have their check-in as early as 6 a.m. But they want to take something before they go. And so
Yeah.
as a night auditor, I ran the place during the night. And so the restaurant is not open by 6. What do you do? Do you tell the guests that, oh, because restaurant is not, but meanwhile, the money you took from the guests stated clearly that bed and breakfast, and it's an
Mm,
agreement. Bed and breakfast is an agreement. It doesn't matter. If the person wants to take a light coffee or something, a chocolate drink light in the morning, there should be someone to be able to facilitate that for the customer. Okay. And so I really think these things I used to prepare breakfast for guests and before they leave. Okay. So all these things have to be all departments. Okay. Every department should know something about customer service. If not in depth, at least the surface level of it. Okay. Yes. So I think um, it is really, really, really important for every single department to know this. Yeah. Not
okay.
just just the front office alone. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So we've all talked about how staff can handle customers and clients and give them good customer service experience. But let's not just ignore the challenges customer service personnel do face. What in from your own experience, what will you say are the challenges customer service personnel do face or are likely to face?
Hmm. Okay. So the most common ones are usually, um, abuse. Okay, abuse.
Okay.
It could be verbal, it could be physical. Okay. I've not personally experienced any physical abuse, but verbal and emotional abuse, it has happened. Okay. So the thing is, customers, you are dealing with a variety of people. There are people who are dressed in suits, but they are bipolar. I mean, they have
Yeah.
bipolar. There are
Yeah.
people who have bipolar. And then, unfortunately for you, when the person came into your establishment, the person bipolar came in, the person didn't take their pill. They forgot to take their pill. You are the one the person is going to attack.
Hmm.
Yes, so I think the problem with us is I am the kind of person when I pick up a role, okay, I don't
Yeah.
care about the negative side. I don't care about the once I love the thing, I don't care
Okay.
about the negative aspect of it. So I think it's high time we strike our mind that we are working and the customer service role is not it's obviously not for everybody. Let me establish this. The
Okay.
customer service role is not for everybody.
Yeah.
You see, there are people who don't like people naturally.
Yeah.
People don't we call it in tree that nipa ni hini mbɔn. Okay, so
Yeah.
there are people who don't like people naturally. If you are that kind of person, you shouldn't even venture customer service. And if you are someone also that gets annoyed at the little provocation, it is not for you unless you are willing to change. Okay, just like I
Wow.
did change. Yes,
Mm.
so I really think we have a problem. we have we have a big problem. We have a big problem. So um that is one, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So another challenge is actually you see, like I mentioned earlier, okay,
Yeah.
most of these customers are not really attacking you, the receptionist or the customer service personnel. They are not attacking you. They are
Okay.
attacking the company. See, if you put this at the back of your mind, see, if you close this work, if you stop this work today, that company is there. You get it? The company
Yeah.
you are working with right now. If you stop right now, they will come and attack the next person who is sitting at the reception.
Yeah.
So it should tell you that you are not the one they are attacking.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a very
So
powerful way to see it.
yes, because when you leave, there is someone else there and they will come and attack the same person. I've been accused of a mistake that my colleagues did before.
Hmm.
Okay, so sometimes a guest comes and they are like, oh, during the morning, oh, during the morning. My colleagues who are in the morning shift, they will receive a complaint from the guest that, oh, our room so and so's AC is not chilling very well. Instead of them to forward it to management for management to call the technician to come and fix it, they will sit down. When I come in the night, when I was doing the night auditing, um, role, when I come in the night, when the guest is ready to sleep in the night and they are sweating, that
Yeah.
is where they will come and abuse me. That they came to complain earlier. Meanwhile, I'm not the one you complain to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually take it easily with them because I know. I mean, if the room is hot, if a room is hot, I cannot sleep there. So I won't want someone to sleep in a hot room. Okay. So
Yeah.
sometimes what I do is I actually change room for them, put them in a room where the AC works perfectly, and then in the morning we fix the issue and we move on. Okay. So like I'm saying, they are not really attacking you, the person sitting there. They are attacking the company. And so you don't take a customer's complaint personal. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will get angry only because they have made the complaint over and over and over and nothing has been fixed. But the time they got angry was the time were like the person in question was on duty, and so you feel like they are attacking you, but they are not attacking you. They've already made the complaint and nothing has been done, so they will be angry. Okay, so some go as far as actually raining insults on you. You are very dumb, you are stupid, all that. You get it a lot. Yeah, so, but you just have to be calm. It is your job. It's just like a soldier who has agreed to be a soldier. You go to war and now gun is firing, blah, 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 and you are running. Why are you running? You knew the how do you call it, the risks of the job before you took it. Okay? So you shouldn't run. You should actually do your job how it's supposed to be done. Okay. And
Yeah.
that brings us to the physical. And so with physical, when it starts getting, when it starts escalating, even with the verbal, okay, there are some customers who don't like to be interfered when they are speaking because they feel like they are the boss. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, the customer is like, oh, um, I don't know what example that I can give. Um, Sometimes they make some weird complaints and you'll be trying to explain to them why they are actually experiencing it, which is not a bad thing, okay? But some people
Yeah.
don't like to be cut off when they are speaking. And
Yeah.
they can go from 0 to 100 with their anger when you interrupt them, okay? And so
Yeah.
in situations like that, all you do is when it's escalating beyond your strength, that is why there is management. Okay, when management comes in and the person is still, the customer is still not calming down. Okay, because it is a stage, it is stages. Okay, for
Yeah.
instance, at the hotel, for instance, okay,
Yeah.
a normal receptionist answers to a front office manager. Okay, so if
Yeah.
your front office manager is actually available at the moment, okay, you call the front office manager to come and handle the customer. That is when you have not been able to handle the person because some of the situations are out of your control. You
Yeah.
go to your office manager. It's a hierarchy. Okay. So when the front office manager is not able to handle, that is where it goes. It goes to the management itself. Okay. So
Yeah.
if that also fails and the person is trying to be physical, stubborn, that is when security comes in. And then you just hand the person over to security services and whatever police. The security on grounds will actually detain the person for police to come in or whatever. Okay. So there are stages to it. So it's not like the customer can be always right, okay? When the
Yeah.
customer, no matter how the customer is right, the moment the person gets physical with their abuse, there should be security in the issue. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is just how it works. Security will step in, take the person, and then the person will be prosecuted or whatever. The person has to go through jail or even stay at counterback for some 3 days, and then they'll learn, sorry to say, sense. Yes, because there are some customers they go as much as being physical. Okay. Yeah. And so I really think these are the challenges, okay. But if you psych your mind, if you psych your mind, I've gotten to the point where it is not even a problem anymore. So let me give you a perfect example, okay.
Okay.
People also don't learn on their job, okay. They don't really learn on their job. This is why I'm saying that. Um, for every customer that you have met, okay, you will
Yeah.
get a similar type of customer, about even 10 within. If the place is busy, you will get the same type of customer, about 10 in just a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
people don't study pattern or learn from customers. Okay. Let me give you this example. I learned
Okay.
one thing in the hotel business, okay,
Yeah.
about Nigerians, okay.
Yeah.
When Nigerians come and lodge at a hotel, okay, no matter
Yeah.
how big the person is, they request for a bucket and a pail to bath.
Okay.
I don't know why. I never asked because it would be some like out of the professional kind of setting. Okay, I never
Yeah.
asked, but it's a thing that every Nigerian that I served in a hotel, I don't know if other hotels don't experience it, but for me, they take a bucket and a pail. They don't use the
Yeah.
shower,
Okay.
and they don't even use the heaters in the room because they are not using the shower. They go as much as even requesting hot water from kettle.
Okay.
Okay, so when I study this thing, and so when a guest walks in and I notice they are Nigerians, because obviously I'll get their name, take their passport, get their
Yeah.
information. Okay. The
Yeah.
moment I notice the person is a Nigerian, once I let the person go into the room, I call them that, oh, I want to give them bucket and then pail so that whenever they want to bath, they can use that. And then, they came to like me so much. Okay.
Wow.
So this is part of customer service, the part of customer service that people don't know. You should anticipate your guest need. Okay,
Mm.
that thing alone, it makes people love your service, like how you made them feel. Because you don't wait for the person. I have seen that it's a pattern, and
Yeah.
so I will suggest it that, oh, I can give you a bucket and a pill in case you want to bath. And then yeah, they're like, wow, how do you know? How do you know I want it? So it is something that we have to look at, okay? And so, and another thing too is most of these our Islamic brothers, okay,
Yeah.
who usually um, travel from outside to Ghana, not those here in Ghana, okay.
Yeah.
What they do is, I also studied one thing about them. Whenever I see a Muslim come, after I have taken their information and then I want them to go into their room, I let them know where the sun rises from, which is the east. Okay,
Wow.
because they usually ask for that. Yes, they usually ask for that. It is a pattern. That is what it is. Years of pattern. About 85 to 90% Muslims do that when they are not from this country, when they are come from another country. Okay, so they usually lose their bearing. They don't know where the east is now, and so
Yeah.
they go inside when they are ready to pray. They have to call or come out again, come and ask. It's stressful. So the moment
Yeah.
I see the person is a Muslim, I tell them, oh, in case you want to know where the sun um, rises from, okay, where the sun rises from is the east, right? So the east is over here. I just face them to it. And then whenever they want to pray, they don't have to come out again. They just lay their mat in there, face the east, and then they do their prayer. Okay, yeah. So
Mm.
a part of the customer service job is anticipating your customers' needs. Okay, very,
Yeah.
very important because every customer, like I mentioned, that you meet today, you will meet 10, about 10 of that person within a month. Okay, you meet
Yeah.
about 10 of that person. So when you know, the moment the person starts talking, or you know
Mm.
um, what the person is trying to say because you've met similar people. Okay, so you just chip in to make the work easier for the customer, and then you see that they love the service of the company or whatever. Okay. Yeah, so it is very important. And one last one, Chinese. Chinese people,
Okay.
I noticed also that Chinese people don't like their rooms to be cleaned without they being present in the room. Yes,
Wow.
in the hotel. A Chinese man will never let you enter their room unless you ask permission or they are in the room before. And so the moment a Chinese person checks in, I call housekeeping. There is a Chinese man in so and so room. Please don't enter their room without their permission. I give
Mm.
them the hint already so that housekeeping doesn't go and bring problems. Okay,
Wow.
for talk so many problems, and so these are some of the things that you can prevent even before disputes occur. Okay, so
Yeah.
I have come to actually learn all these things by experience. Okay, so the moment I see a Chinese person, I'll just call housekeeping quickly. Please, room so and so, if you want to go there, because mostly housekeepers have spare keys, and then they go into the room at their own will to clean. Okay, because it's part of the services. They'll go there to clean unless the guest specifically requested that please don't enter my room today. That is the only exception, okay? But if the guest doesn't say anything, they just go because they have spare keys. But the Chinese man will not tell you that don't enter my room. You will learn it the hard way. Yes, you will learn it the hard way because my first hello, hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Oh, okay. So my first experience was actually I learned it the hard way. Okay. Yeah, so this Chinese man, according to him, he even set camera in his room, and so he saw everything that the housekeeper came there to do, and then he came down and said he doesn't like. That was my first encounter with a Chinese man. He doesn't
Yeah.
like. They'll portray it as if it is their own kind of preference, okay? But it runs in them. It's a pattern. Yeah, so he's like he doesn't like people entering his room without his permission. Nobody should enter there again. And then I asked, oh, how did he know we entered the room?
Yeah.
He said, okay, he he has noticed that they've cleaned the place. I was like, okay, yeah, fine. That is very obvious. But
Yeah.
then secondly, he set a camera in the room before leaving, going out.
Wow.
And then since then, I noticed that it's a pattern. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. When they come down and they are going out, they bring the key. They are like, "Don't go into my room. Don't go into my room. Allow me to come before you clean the room." And then I thought it was a pattern. Okay. So the moment a Chinese man checks in, I just call housekeeping. Don't go there for any reason unless the client asks you to come. Yeah. So anticipating a customer's need is also very, 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 very. You see, sometimes let's say you are selling a product like let's give an example like maybe clothing. Okay, clothing.
Yeah.
A customer comes in and the person starts talking. Oh, maybe I have a wedding um, next week that I have to go to. Okay, and this wedding, it is a very good friend's wedding. Okay, I have to be present. I have to look nice. Immediately, you should know what kind of clothes you give to the person that would get the customer satisfied.
Wow.
Immediately, you should know. Yes, because unless you are new to the job, but if you've been in the service for maybe quite a number of months or years, you should know exactly what to feed the customer, and then the customer will be satisfied. Yeah, so all these things are very, very important. People don't really pay attention to that, but these are the small, small things that actually retain customers. Retain customers. Okay. Yeah. So I think that will be my answer for that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's actually amazing how looking at your journey from how you turn from being being so um angry and can't even stay in a job for 6 months to becoming this great in knowing how to handle customers and clients. And this actually shows that as humans we can learn and unlearn if we are willing to do
Exactly.
so. And it actually shows that no matter how bad anybody is, no matter how worse they think they are, they can actually learn how to handle customers because I I believe that part of the reasons why most people complain that there's no job, there is no and not just in business, in every aspect of life, relationship, and why people you see now online everywhere, men are complaining about women, women are complaining about men, and all those stuffs. It's to me, I think it boils down to understanding how to relate with each other, understanding human nature, and how to use it to our own benefit. So, um,
Exactly.
I think you are in a very good position, and um, I believe there is a lot we can actually do in this aspect because
Yes.
this is actually a problem.
Yes.
Yes, this is actually a problem, but because
It's a
of
very big
time,
problem.
okay. So,
Yes.
and
So
because of,
I'm not cutting you off, okay?
okay,
Yes. So just like you said, okay. So in the beginning of this live session, okay, I mentioned that we all have bad attitude, okay, and
yeah,
so
yeah,
it is as a result of this attitude that we are not willing to unlearn, okay. That is
yeah,
causing a lot of problems. You see that you have a certain attitude, you think it is exclusive to the work that you are doing, but you tend to bring it out, okay? And so you know that before you realize you are taking it into relationships, you are taking it into contracts. You see that sometimes you have a very peculiar service and people want to sign contracts with you, but the way you talk alone lays
yeah.
people off. Okay. Yeah, so
Wow.
I think the point you are making is very important for us to understand this thing. Because see, if we are looking at learning to be specific to whatever role that we are doing, it's wrong. Okay. Learning certain learning in certain fields, okay, cut
Yeah.
across our daily life. Okay. It
Sure.
cuts
Yeah.
across our daily. Yeah, and so I think it is very important for every single person to know how to relate with people. You know, the thing that helped me was guest relation. Okay, so customer service is quite different from guest relation. Okay, because with
Okay.
guest relation, while the while the guest is at the hotel, okay, you will be
Yeah.
building a relationship with them. Okay, there
Yeah.
are people who come to sleep at the hotel for as long as a month. Okay,
Wow.
you don't just say you are a receptionist so when the person pays the money, no, you are down with the person. No, you'll be seeing these guests every single day, morning,
Yeah.
afternoon, evening. And so you tend to build a relationship with them. And so that is what brought about my story that I talked about when the guest money got lost. Okay. Yeah, so my
Yeah.
front office manager was just trying to build a good relationship with the guests. Okay. So some of them go as much as actually even um getting our contact, our personal contact, and interacting with us, okay,
Yeah.
when they are outside the business setting. Okay. Yeah. So I have friends that I made from 2016 from the hotel up to now that we are still friends. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Some of them sometimes when they need any business, sometimes some of them want to bring some businesses in Ghana and then they need directions as to how they want to do it. And they consult me, I guide them, do that, they do that. And they actually know they do it. Okay. Yeah, so it is something that we all have to learn. You see, back in the days, I have heard
Yeah.
and seen people that people came from outside to marry them in hotels and then they are living their best life. Men
Wow.
come to marry women from hotels just because of how they serve customers. Okay. Some it doesn't matter. Some are in the restaurant department, some are food and beverage. Okay. Some are in the housekeeping department. People really got opportunity because when these white people come like this and then you go to serve them, how you speak to them, how you are serving them the food, everything. They'll just be watching you. Before you know it, they develop a relationship with you. Then soon you are gone. They marry you and you are gone. people have lived very happily through these things. Okay, so that
Yeah.
sometimes people need to understand that some of the good attitudes that you are portraying is not only going to benefit the company that you are working for. Okay,
Yeah.
it is going to benefit you too because you are actually building connections. You are
Mm.
building um, friendships, okay,
Yeah.
which people undervalue. People really undervalue. Assuming you have a friend in, for instance, let's say Netherlands, okay,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
God being so good, you have a visa to visit Netherlands. You served the person way back in your customer service role, and then you became very good friends. Do you think when you are going to Netherlands, you will suffer that much? You will not suffer. Because you can
Yeah.
quickly reach out to the person that, oh, I've got a visa to Netherlands. Can you host me? The person will gladly host you because they've met you. They know the caliber of person you are. They know how you treated them. They still remember how you treated them. And so they will gladly host you and they will gladly give you the best experience of your life when you visit. Okay. So it was just an example, by the way. And, and
Yeah.
so it boils down to how important all these things is. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I really think, like you were saying, let's just find a way to actually channel this for people to really understand. Because when I think, let me chip this in, okay? I think
Okay.
when I saw it was a video that I commented under right on your page.
Y-
That was my
Yeah.
first time actually meeting your page. So I was really, really angry when I heard what the conversation that was going on about how people are very disrespectful to customers. Okay? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hardly even comment on that videos. To be honest, I hardly comment on that videos, but I mean that anger pushed me a little bit to comment that yes, I've been doing this work for quite a number of years and I have been able to deal with very difficult customers. So I don't get why people cannot do that. I don't get it. What is their
Hmm.
problem? You see, these
Yeah.
same people will be complaining about salaries, but pay them 10,000 to be a month. They still portray the same behavior. Yes.
Wow.
So mostly it's not about the salary, it's not about the pay. It is just an attitude that people have to change. And there's
Mm.
no two ways about it. People have to learn the hard way or the easier way, whichever one they prefer to take. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wow. You've actually given a lot of insight about this customer service. Um, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we are able to do this. But because of time, I need
Yeah.
to let you go so that
Yeah.
um, you have other things to do. But I believe that it will not end here. I really believe that it
Yeah.
will not end here. We will have to champion this
Yeah.
thing and create awareness about it so
I
that
really, yeah. I really love what you are doing. It's very, very, very important. This feels very important. We are lacking behind. So I will urge you to keep up the good work and then keep up the enthusiasm to actually channel this
uh,
to where it's supposed to be for people to understand. Yes,
yes.
very,
Yeah,
very
the
important.
actual thing is sorry. The actual thing is I really have this passion for human development because looking across
Mm,
Africa, we complain a lot and
yes,
is we really lack resources. It's like we don't have the proper information on how to actually become
exactly.
actually attract what we want. If you go around,
Yes,
you see a lot of blog giving celebrity gist, trend
yes,
reaction, and you see the numbers,
mm,
it is mind blowing. But when it comes to
exactly.
things
Mm,
that develop us, make us
pushing.
better, and it seems like people don't that aspect people don't want to put in the work. So
Yeah,
I that was the reason I actually make a decision that
mm,
this platform is going to be centered on that. So
amazing.
Yeah, fun fact is that you are the first person that I'm hosting a live on.
Oh wow, I'm blessed.
Yeah, yeah, you are the very
Thank
first
you very
person.
much. I'm really honored. Really
Yeah,
honored. I'm really, really honored.
I'm
Yeah,
honored
I hope
to
this doesn't end here.
yes, yeah, it won't. It won't. So I'm really particular about seeing, especially young Africans, harnessing their
Yeah,
potential and making something out of it, and not just relying on uncles, aunties, governments. I believe as
exactly.
humans, yeah, we have a whole lot
Yeah,
to, if we are willing to do, we can actually rewrite stories no matter the background we come from. So I really appreciate how you've come out
hello,
to. Please, can you hear me?
hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I
Yeah, I
really
can hear you
appreciate.
now. Yeah,
Okay, I really appreciate how you've come
yeah,
out to to share your wealth of knowledge. And I don't know
yeah.
the number of people who are here are, or whether anybody has
So I
any
see
question.
question, question. Yeah, I think yeah. If anybody has any question,
Yes.
I see
Um,
few people on, but I don't know if it's just us. I'm
I
not really
think
familiar with them.
yes, I think few people joined and some also left. So
Some
um,
left, yeah, some again. Yeah. So, is there
but
any? I think there is someone expensive, right? It's expensive. You are not expensive, right? So,
no,
I think there's someone expensive.
yes.
Expensive. Do you have any question? Expensive. Please, if you have any question, you can just request so that you will be added and then you ask your question. Okay. Thank you.
Um,
Expensive, yeah. Expensive.
um,
Uh, okay. Okay. Expensive. If you are hearing this and you don't have any question, don't worry. Okay. Maybe in our next live, you have a question and I'll be glad to answer. Okay. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
okay. So I think that would be the end till some other
Yeah.
time we need to focus on, because I've jotted a lot of things down here to
Okay. Yeah.
that
I
we
really like that.
yes, so we will, we from time to time we would touch on it so that we bring this
Yeah.
knowledge to people to understand that money hides in
Yeah.
people's
Exactly.
hand, but you need to understand how they function so to access that money.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
Mr. Mike, I don't know if you
So,
have any final thing to say so that we call it a day.
oh, okay. I think my final words will just be, um, let's just reflect on whatever we have learned here today. And I mean, listening to something and practicing it, it's a whole different thing together. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, you don't just listen for listening to it. And it would be useless, totally useless if you don't apply it. Okay. And
yeah,
so, as for me, I would boldly say that I apply this in my day-to-day life. Okay. Yeah,
sure.
so I sometimes meet total strangers and the way I have time for them, they are amazed, like, wow, how? And they don't know. I just laugh and I'm like, okay, I've paid my dues. I've paid my dues and I've learned a lot in the years back. Okay. And so I actually use it every day. So I hope that um, we all can actually use these information. in our day-to-day life, and we will be a better person every single day. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you too for joining us and making this happen. Um,
Okay, thank you for having me there.
yeah. So,
Yes.
and we will
So
keep
we need,
talking.
yeah, sure. We'll keep talking. I'll even send you my number, WhatsApp, so that if anything you need
Okay.
advice,
Okay. So,
so that if anytime you want any more live or any more questions, you can come
uh,
back online and then you give the
okay.
information out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you very, very much. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome. I appreciate you too very much for giving me the platform to share my experience. Okay. There are more
Yeah.
experiences in the backpacking.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
time, you release all of it small, small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All the best. Good night.
Yeah. I wish you same.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.